Hi folks, I'm here at COP29 and with me is Susan Thompson from Yachadak, who is a person with Indigenous heritage, right, Susan?
Yes.
And just talk us through how you've come through your story over the last 4 or 5 years. How did you get into the creation of credible carbon credits?
So I'm an Indigo woman from Central Western Queensland, and firstly for me the importance of acquiring country back was because of the significance of our cultural sites. So that's fundamentally the most important part that starts to unpack our participation in healing country. So, and then of course we needed to find a way to sustain our country, but also to establish the country in the way we needed to. And the Queensland government had just advertised for pilots in their land restoration fund project. So we applied and were successful under the human-induced regenerative, which is a HIR project. So it's a 22,500 acre cattle property in the desert uplands region. It has been mechanically cleared, and so there was nothing left. So,
and sorry, this is in Northern Territory, Australia?
No, Central Queensland.
Central Queensland, sorry.
Queensland in Australia. And so right on the edge of the Angelina Sea, and it sits right over the top of the Great Artesian Basin. So very, very important, and that particular piece of land is the watershed that goes into Lake Eyre. So, and then the other part goes out into the Great Barrier Reef. So it's very crucial on the land management that we do and the things that we put into country. So of course, when we arrived onto the country in about 4 years ago, on the 30th of April 2019, so 5 years ago, the previous owner had just cleared everything. So there was no grass, there was no trees, there was nothing, because he felt that it was more attractive for his cattle, even though we were still at the edge of a very long 8-year drought. And so there's still drought. We had hardly any cattle left. It was so sad. We came in, and the moment we came in and we started to reset. But what we believe it's also, we re-arrived back onto our country that we were dispossessed from, we could start to feel a shift. So there's something very interesting about Indigenous participation in land, because we always talk about our system, and our system is at one with our world and understanding how that world was created. So if it was created like that, then we understand the intricacies of bringing it to life. So through that process then, we did a rainmaking ceremony. So we sorted out some of the paddocks, and then we started doing what we call rainmaking. And so that was then firstly we cleared out a water hole, and we removed 2.5 metres of built-up silt, and we planted trees around, and you can find it on Nutchaduk's YouTube page called Caring for Country. Called Caring for Country. And so it's down, I think it's the second one down, and you'll see me and a gentleman with an Aboriginal flag on his shirt. That explains what we did in that project. And so by planting the grasses, and of course we were in drought, so we started to plant, and we went down, we watered 1,000 litres of water in the morning and 1,000 litres at night for 8 days. And every day we took it in turns to do it. Each time we went down, we seen all the animals come. So we started to see our country come alive, and the animals wake up, because nobody was caring for them. And the importance of their place, not just for cattle, but for their place, because it was the balance.
Okay.
We had water, and we brought the rain back. So then I then got to go to my first carbon forum, Carbon Market Institute forum in Australia, and they were.
This is about the same time, 2019.
2019 and 2020, and they were presenting blue carbon on the Sunshine Coast near Brisbane in Queensland. And I remembered sitting there thinking, I learnt about green carbon, tree planting, I learnt about brown carbon, soil. I learnt about then, I think there was savanna, which was khaki and blue. And I sat there and I thought, oh, all them white fellas out there, they've got these colours for all this stuff that they're doing to restore their country. Then we as Aboriginal people must be doing the rainbow. Because everything we do in a holistic view of how we see our intricate system of whatever it is restores it, so there has to be a value added to that.
And so when you first learned about carbon markets, were you skeptical?
No. For me as an Indigenous person, what I realised, and I can be very cheeky with this, is that, oh my gosh, all you fellas out there, you stole the land from us, you stole it from us, then you wrecked it. Now we're getting to acquire it back, which is a shame we have to acquire it back. And now we're getting paid for the trees and the grass to grow. That's pretty clever. We're patient people, and I think that's what I say to everybody out there. Is that why they don't want Indigenous people in there? Because they are seeing that there's more of a holistic? Is that why there's skepticism around that? I don't believe we should fear it. I think we should assert ourselves in this space and believe and trust in our knowledge and continue to lead in that space, because it is going to get to a point in time where our knowledge is absolutely required for carbon and nature markets.
And so just the other day I was speaking to another Indigenous person who was very against the commodification of nature. Why isn't carbon crediting commodification of nature? I mean, my idea, the way I think about it is you're actually creating a penalty for doing any damage, and you're incentivizing sustainable use of nature.
I think it costs money. If I was to think about us restoring our water hole, that costs money. I've got to put fuel into the machine that we use. We have to buy the posi track.
The what, sorry?
There's a little posi track, little dingo. So we had to get that little dingo in. Because who's going to sit there and shovel?
Okay, a dingo is a dog. I'm
Oh,
confused.
sorry, it's a little machine. It's a little track surveyor machine that's got a little bucket on it. And so they call them dingoes in Australia. But
Okay.
So it's got its bucket electronic, and you can take it in. So it's a small machine that can go in, and it can scoop up and remove a lot of dirt at the same time with excavators to remove that. Because
Okay, let's not get bogged down in that, because I want to show
yes,
my viewers your picture, which demonstrates, I think, quite clearly how doing a strategic burn on land can help restore
so we call that traditional burning.
Okay.
So it's called traditional burning or fire stick burning or cool burn. So it's not a seasonal burn and it's not a dry season burn, it's an appropriate traditional burn. And so what we did on our property, and I love it because where we live, the only Indigenous person in the region that has their own land back to manage. So we did this particular burn here. So if you can see here, so this is our burn we did. And you can see how it's all green, but you can see there's burn bits in here. So that's our bit. And that's our fire break there. And then our neighbour, he thought, not asking us how to do it, but following us, not asking us, he thought, well, I'm going to do 3 greater blades, and then I'm going to light my place up, and I'm going to light it up at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's going to be finished by 6 o'clock at night. And you can see there's not anything left. All of it's burnt out and dead. So he's scalded so he's got nothing. We didn't even take the cattle out of this paddock.
It's such a stark picture. And can you just explain why the results are so different? In scientific terms or spiritual terms, how my viewers will understand.
So then when we're thinking about sequestering carbon, we're thinking about that as a practice, and we're thinking about nature. So by being able to do a cool burn, we're leaving a lot of the biomass, which is the thing that stores carbon, dead trees, those sorts of things. We don't want those to burn. That's why the hot fires, when we're having the hot fires, they're annihilating all of the carbon stores which is in the trees and the plants. They are vital to making sure that carbon is stored in them. So all of the photosynthesis, everything is one system. If we burn that out and it's gone, the animals don't have anything there, then there's nothing left. So there's nothing to store other than emitting the carbon in the air and the atmosphere by doing a traditional cool burn. And this is why the value of Indigenous knowledge must be right at the forefront of any of this stuff.
Okay, Susan, just hold that thought for a second. I'm going to stop this.